Welcome to the thrilling world of the Flying Runr, brought to you by the Marathon Mates.
Hey everyone, it's Tony here from the Flying Runr podcast. I fixed my plantar fasciitis through YouTube. Hey, welcome to Out and Back. This is our midweek mini episode that will probably be a little bit ad hoc and spontaneous. It might just be me, or it could be sometimes Tim and Tara just jumping on to share our news, views, trials and tribulations, and maybe just a couple of tips in there as well. Think of this as your midweek turnaround point. It's that turnaround point where we've come out from the weekend and we're now starting the journey to head back. Now, today I want to talk about YouTube. And I want to talk about how YouTube fixed my plantar fasciitis. Now, plantar fasciitis is an inflammation of the fibrous tissue along the bottom of your foot, and it connects the heel bone to your toes. Now, many runners turn to YouTube for answers when they're suffering an injury. They're looking for some advice. They're looking for a plan. They may be researching for their next pair of shoes. And we know that they do because the size of the running influencers and their audiences and their views is high. Some of them get millions of views on their videos. But of course, we understand that not everyone has access to professional services or running clubs, and that's why people go to YouTube. Now, in 2019, I was struggling with plantar fasciitis, trying many remedies that I was seeing on YouTube without too much success. I was trying the remedies. I was doing what I was supposed to. And you know the remedies. It's like rolling your foot on a frozen can. It's about stretching your toes back to stretch out the fibrous tissue. It just wasn't working. Now, the stretching was great for my calves, of course, but certainly not my plantar fasciitis. Then one day, deep into the search results. Now, this is like deep in the search results. I found a physio that was sharing quite a different, unique technique, very different from many of the others. And it worked wonders for me. Now, I did the technique for the next 2 nights, and guess what? I fixed my plantar fasciitis. And really, it hasn't bothered me since. And if I do feel it coming on, I just do the technique and it just goes away again. So I found the right technique through YouTube. Now, I wish I could share the link to that particular video, but I can't because I can no longer locate it. It is that hidden in search results. So YouTube also led me to find my favorite long run shoes. Now, this is the Saucony Tempus. You may have heard me talk about this before. They're lightweight, they're stable, they're ideal for my marathons. But I did really thorough research around this particular shoe, listening to many reviews, listening to the positive and the constructive before investing in my first pair. Because as we know, shoes are expensive. So we want to make sure that we're not just buying the first shoe that our favorite influencer tells us to. We want to do the research and we want to make a calculated risk. So here's some tips on Out and Back today, just for finding helpful content on YouTube. First up, let's make sure we're checking the qualifications of the person. Ensure the person, if they're discussing injuries or prevention, is accredited in some way, shape or form. A lot of businesses now use YouTube as part of their content strategy. They will be sending out their content and hopefully creating leads for their own particular business, whether they're in sports medicine, whether they are a physio, etc., etc. So just make sure that they're accredited in what it is that they're talking about. What about if they're telling you about plans and marathon plans and cadence and all of these running terms that we know and love? Make sure they're accredited. Once again, make sure they ask them about their coaching experience. Do some research. Verify that they are qualified to teach people. Or in some cases, because people have spent a lifetime in running, are they sharing their personal experiences, and are they making sure that they are saying that this is from personal experience? When it comes to shoe reviews, consider all perspectives, as many as you possibly can, because we know that many reviewers are paid. Many buy their own shoes. Many will be provided free shoes for review. So go looking for the ones that are honest and upfront around what it is that they do. Some reviewers will always do a positive review, but in some cases, they're very honest about that. They will always say that they will provide the positives around the shoe, and that's okay. That's what they do. That's how they earn their living. But always look for those reviewers that are going to give you the positives and potentially the downfalls, and maybe talk about some of those runners or the running types that will benefit from wearing those shoes. As I said, shoes are an expensive proposition. We want to make sure that we're making the right decision. And just my final tip is look for the different. So in a world of plantar fasciitis, there's a lot of people out there showing you how to roll something cold and frozen on your foot, but look for the ones that are different and maybe give them a go, because as you know, YouTube fixed my plantar fasciitis. So as we head back towards our Friday episode and, of course, the weekend long run, this is our turning point. This is our turning around point. So I hope to see you out there, and happy running.